But he's not balding. He has a shaved head.
No.
That's what I'm saying.
But I'm saying, like, I get what you're saying.
Oh.
But I feel like older girls, like, once you hit, like, 25s.
Wait, what?
Like, girls when they hit, like, 25. That's when they're more so into, like...
Well, that makes me feel worse, too, because I feel like if it's, like, at that point, if they're not already married, they're like, you'll do.
No. But, like, Cole, how old are you?
21.
Okay. So, by the time you're
I got
married,
4 years left.
No, but by the time you're married, like...
I got 3, bro.
They're going to be into their, like, mature, grown woman vibes.
Well, I would hope at that point they just, like, love me.
I mean, valid.
I also just hope in this entire thing you like just talking to me and my personality and don't really care about the shine upon my head.
Yeah. Okay, but look.
But like it blinks.
And we just glossed over that pretty quickly, so
it blinks.
Loki?
It shows your brightness.
thanks.
Sometimes
I have to compensate is basically what I'm saying. Hence why I start a podcast.
Cole
Hey,
has value, guys.
Just
He
be a
has
mom.
value.
Hey girl, ew, I have a podcast. Ew. So,
If you just tell her that you're an M word, then you'll be good.
huh?
M word?
M.
M?
L M M L M N.
What? No, I get what you're saying. I did not hear that correctly. I was like, why would I say that?
You had a.
You thought you said N?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
You thought I had a. What's his name? The streamer guy.
Oh, you ready?
Yeah. You thought I had.
I gotta show you that clip.
I need everyone to please use their best brains to figure out what Thomas just said.
He knows.
No.
Oh,
I
like
mean Cole.
listening?
Yeah. Or Craig.
Well, there's
Emma.
several times when we record this stuff, there'll just be an inside joke that nobody's gonna understand.
Love.
But like, I can show you the clip after. You might think it's funny, maybe not. We'll see.
I'm surprised you didn't say it out loud.
M?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought we
Yeah,
just
don't-
wanted to go
yeah.
straight from that.
Don't say that, because then now people listening are be like, "Why in the world are they talking about?" As if we didn't have a whole conversation the other day about
Watch out for the people at the games. I'm telling you that right now.
the games. What? Now I'm
Never mind.
confused.
I'm lost.
Okay, never mind.
Like the basketball game?
Just any of the Charlotte games. Mainly basketball and football, but yeah.
The players? The fans. What?
Never mind.
I'm glad that you share my confusion because I have no idea where he went with this
I got
story.
lost.
Never mind.
But
We can talk about it later.
That
We went very
sounds
off track though.
So good.
well, in a way, we have an excuse to just kind of like ramble because this episode is about chaos. So it's just kind of like.
Well, it's supposed to be chaos about Allie. We've been talking about you in your head.
Also,
for the past...
did you like the title of the Meg episode?
What was the title of it?
Never mind.
What was the title?
You were supposed to
of
be
it?
like, yeah, it was so sweet. It was neighbor turned best friend.
Oh, that was cute. I liked listening to it though. I feel like I learned more about her listening
Well, also
Is this
too.
the only episode you've listened to?
all the way through. Yes.
You listened to the whole thing?
Mhm.
Damn, nice. Because that was what, like hour 45 or
Yeah.
something. Well, because
That's
you.
why I watched it on 1.8.
I was gonna say because you told me you watched it at 1.8, and I was like, what?
1.8.
That's how I listen to my lectures. I usually listen to my lectures in 2-point speed.
Well, 'cause
Guys, you know my brain like needs more stimulation. Like
Okay.
it needs it.
I immediately went on Spotify and listened to it on 1.8, and I got overstimulated. I was like, yo, I can't listen to this.
I listened to it while I was, again, multitasking. I was driving to and from and all around Charlotte, listening to it in 1.8 speed. And I'll
What-
probably listen to this episode again in 1.8
Well, at that
speed.
point, why don't you just listen to it in normal speed if you're just already like busy doing something?
No. I need another stimulus. And like listening really fast makes my brain process.
Well, that's what I mean by controlled chaos. Like you can't just sit down and do one thing. You have to do like
Oh no.
multiple.
I think that's the reason why I couldn't listen to it the first time is because it was so slow and my brain was like. So yeah. And
Well,
your first episode was like 2 hours long.
Yeah, that was the pilot episode. We just
Yeah.
talked about a lot of things.
Well, that one, and then Craig and Lucy's was like 2.5 hours.
That's
close.
exact-
That episode was long,
is
but it
why
was
I
a
did
good
not watch
episode.
That it was a really good episode.
was a really good
Like if
episode.
you ever get the time,
If you
to-
want like the good part, like the first, the second half is like a lot better. The first half was good, but like the second half was like a lot more deep.
correct. Yeah, I think the story, what I'm pointing to, Craig had like a really sweet story that I think started in like the second half of it. But
Cute.
yeah, so you can listen to the second hour and a half. Because that thing was basically 2 episodes.
I honestly wonder how you guys like sit down for that amount of time and talk.
Well, that's a constant theme kind of when we just record these is we, I guess, pick people that we can hold a conversation with.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, speaking for me, I feel like it speaks for the both of us, but I wouldn't want anybody on here that I would have to like drag conversation out of.
Yeah, I don't want to be sitting here. Like,
And we haven't had anybody like that, so.
I mean, because it's all your like friends, like close friends and stuff like that.
Well, yeah, but like we've talked about that in the past too. So, like when Cam had her episode, that was the first time I had met her in person. So like, if you think about it, it could have been like hella awkward, but just kind of the person that she is, it was just a very like comforting environment, I guess.
Yeah.
And then Camila, when she was on her episode, that was like the second or third day that I'd seen her in person.
Yeah.
So there's been a couple where it was just kind of like a crapshoot, and it ended up like kind of working out. But yeah, for the most part, like because we were gonna do an episode with Afton too, but we just never got around to it.
Yeah. I think the day I think we became friends is putting up you guys' interesting Christmas tree.
I was gonna say I think that was the first time that I actually because had you been over there or here like prior to that?
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
But like I had never interacted with you.
I was
that
gonna
much.
say, was that the first time I like spoke to you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause I think I've seen you here before. and I
Yeah.
That was
just like-
before, like, when, because we weren't, like, on talking terms for some reason for a little bit. That was so, before that time, like, she was over a lot.
Yeah, I thought you didn't like me, to be honest with you.
He told me that, and I was like, "What?"
Oh yeah, you did tell her that.
Yeah, he's a
Thanks, by the way.
rat.
I
Yeah.
did.
Well, yeah, because like Ali just kind of sat there, and my telltale sign, I don't know if this is healthy or not, but like if somebody likes me, I just like talking to me is like if I make a joke, if you laugh, I'm like, all right, we're off to a good start. But I feel like my shit was just not landing. Like you'd just be sitting there, and I was like, the tree looks like this, and then Ali was just like straight face gang sitting in the chair, and I was like, crap.
Well, Allie has, like, those, like I said, control chaos moods. Like, one day she could be like, shut the fuck up, and the other day is like, ah.
So bipolar, got it.
No, that's not what I meant. It's just how you
Again,
feel.
we're
that
just
day.
like self-diagnosing on these podcasts. I hate it. Do I have ADHD?
I mean, she does. No, I do.
actually do. Anyways, but I don't know. I think that day, I think it was also my first day interacting with you. And
I think,
I
yeah.
don't interact with white men that much.
I'm in good company.
No, I'm not gonna say that. What? I didn't say anything.
For real.
I didn't say
Be-
anything.
BFFR.
Be careful. Is what I would say.
Before I be dead.
Well, I think it's really funny though too because I'm pretty sure we've talked about this in the past, but and I have no problem like being open about this, obviously because you are a cheerleader, but it's just kind of I feel like this is in a way if you look at it from an outside P word, we're refraining from saying perspective because it's kind of gross when we say like when I said that to you the other day when I was texting.
I said that to you.
I read that text message and I said,
I was like, was that gross? You said a little bit.
literally gagged.
Well, when I said that in the car, like on the way here, I was like, damn, I just had like an ache moment to myself. Because I said that in the car on the way here.
I didn't catch it.
Yeah,
If
I tried to say it low-key.
Cole set it up and framed it. That's what gave me the ick.
What did I say?
You were like, it's like you're getting some, and then I think you like put a gif after. or
Was
something
it?
Like that.
Well, I emphasized. I put the spotlight.
Yeah. No,
on
like
the
Cole
message.
made it icky. It wouldn't have been icky.
Dude, and you told me I can't be doing
It
that?
was pretty disgusting.
It was actually so bad.
Oh yeah, you said doing scary drugs isn't immoral. It's just a wee bit reckless. And I said
Doing
depend-
what?
We were talking about people that do like
Like
scary drugs. Sorry.
No, that was really funny. I don't know. I just wanted to point that out. But yeah, we were talking about like drugs for some
Yeah.
reason. I promise it was a healthy conversation.
Yeah, but we were
I'm
talking. I was
intrigued.
saying like Cole said something about how like doing in my head scary drugs like acid, cocaine, LSD, all those like scary stuff. He was like, he said something about it being immoral, and I said it's not immoral. It's just more so like reckless than it is anything else.
I said I'm glad you have a good moral compass.
Yeah.
and then you said doing shared drugs isn't moral, it's just a wee bit reckless. And I said depends on your, and then a separate message perspective. And I did the spotlight.
Bruh.
It was
And
head
I
ass.
said, yeah, that was kind of gross.
It was head ass.
Anyway, getting back to what I was saying, I think it's kind of cool, like, because now you fall into this category. Because Thomas can, well, actually, don't speak on this because you might say some hurtful shit.
What do you mean?
But like, okay, because you were on the cheer team in high school.
Yeah.
And that was different because like the cheerleaders or the people that were on the team, I had like classes and stuff with. So I just kind of got to know them like as a student. And then like when I was like, okay, Olivia Dale, for instance, or like Tilly, or I think that was about it. There might be like
Abigail?
one other person. No, but like I don't really talk to Abigail that much. But like I would like see them at games and so I would be like, oh hey Cole, and like we would talk a little bit and then that was about it. But now in college, because I mean, do I look like I was hanging out with the cheerleaders in high school? No. To answer that question. Were you better pull up?
I was gonna pull up a picture again.
Remember this part? Wow, cool. But like now, so like you, Cam, I mean, Corey doesn't really count because he's a guy,
Michaela.
but Michaela.
Gracie.
Okay. Until I officially meet Gracie, I don't think we can
You
keep
have,
like
though.
I have, but like not really.
Not conversation wise. Like he
Yeah.
hasn't like
Yeah,
been
like
in a personal setting.
So-
like it's just been like a mutual setting.
yeah. So Gracie, when you're on, then we can start using you as an example more often. But like it's funny to me now that like in college, I know you were different though. So like I know these people more as like cheerleaders. And then, like, because you've been doing cheer for, like, years, haven't you?
Forever.
Yeah. So, like, the general perception of the cheerleader is that you're kind of, like, a bitch in most people's eyes. Or you're just, like, super stuck up and, like, prissy and everything like that. But, like, I think I told you about this, actually. I forgot that you were a cheerleader, even though that's kind of, like, how I was introduced to you. But, like I would be at games and I was like, oh, Allie's cheering. And it was like weird to me because I just don't see you as a cheerleader.
Which is crazy that you think that because when I meet a lot of people, they're like, oh, I thought you were going to be stuck up. I thought you were going to be this. I thought you were going to be that. So it's funny to me that I never gave that vibe to you.
Yeah.
Because I unconsciously managed to give that vibe to other people. But I think you just met me in a like more relaxed setting. But
Which
like,
I honestly liked a lot more.
Yeah.
But it's just always funny to me because, okay, so like Cam, obviously, she fits. I got to be very careful what I'm saying, coming off of the comment that I just made, because none of your teammates that I met fall, at least from the interactions that I've had with them, they don't fall into that, like, you're a bitch.
Yeah.
You're
but
super
Cam
entitled.
is like very like healthy, fit, focused, mindset.
Cam
like
is just
that
very,
aspect
like,
of it.
she follows the blueprint of, like, she's a cheerleader, she's a sorority girl. Like, she falls into all of those things, but
Yeah.
she does not at all fall into that, like, behavioral category, I guess.
Like the stereotypical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that you meet them and they're just super like, oh, who was that? So like, cause that was a perception of mine. Like when I would go to your games and I just like wave at you or whatever. And
They
then,
went like at like college.
yeah, like when I go to like the basketball games or whatever, even like before I met you, if I would just like wave at them and then whoever you were standing next to would just like look back and be like, what's that? And then
What is crazy?
not who, what?
What is wild?
And then like
What's that
now,
light bulb?
huh?
What's that light bulb waving at?
He's a little too hairy to be a light bulb.
Is that like your uncle or something? But no, I think it's funny now that like the people that maybe would like look back at me and be like, who is that? Or like, who's this dude that's just like sitting by himself at the basketball game? Like I've actually like met those people like Michaela, Cam, like people like that now. So I think it's really funny now that, because my sister was a cheerleader too, and we just had that joke in our family that she was the super like, oh my god, like we're gonna go get Starbucks after and stuff like that. But having now met like hella cheerleaders, you guys aren't like that at all. Like y'all are weird, don't get me wrong, in like your own respect, but it's, you guys don't follow that at all, which I thought was like really cool for me to like find out just
Yeah.
talking to you guys.
I think that's like a perception a lot of people have though, like that we're all one way and one type, and then when they like actually get to know us, then we're not all like that.
Well, you're different because like you're a dude, so there's only one thing that people think about guy
I don't
cheerleaders.
fall. I don't fall in any of the stereotypical.
There's
male
more
cheerleaders.
from an inside perspective. There's more things that people think about when they think of guy cheerleaders. There's like,
Well, the one that I know, I guess I should say.
I say
Wait, what
there's
do
the
you-
ones that like the boys are the tumblers who are the tumblers and they only tumble. And then there's like the big
Oh.
guys that you are slightly thinking want to sleep with their teammates. And then there's the guys that
Wait, what was that last part?
the big guys who want to sleep with their teammates.
Okay, yeah. I was gonna go with the creepy guys that just think y'all are hot, and they're like, "Oh, I gotta get on that team. I'm strong. I just want to like lift girls and be around them all the time." So.
I think people can't make that commitment. Like if that's your main focus, then like
You'd be surprised. I've met some guys that have done that.
that's wild to me.
Tell me about
There's
it.
no way I would put hours and hours of my time towards something when like my end goal is just that.
See,
Some
I
people
think.
like to play the waiting game. Like they really do.
Ick.
Well, you could speak on it, but I feel like some guys might initially start out that way, but they might actually come to enjoy the sport after like a period of time.
Well,
I don't know any guys specifically I can think of
I
that I
can't
was
speak
like.
for
I
myself
think-
because I just went into the sport not really expecting anything. Honestly.
I think like a lot of guys that like Cam, for instance, like Cam was not a cheerleader. Cam Walker.
And, yeah.
Like, so I don't know the mindset that he came into it with, but I think he, like, I don't think it was to meet girls, but I think he, like, grew to love it.
Yeah.
I have no place to say. So
But, I mean, okay, for the first year that we were, you only had Cam for 1 year.
yeah, but I've hung out with him pretty recently.
Well,
I have no place. This is not my place to speak, but
okay, well, I will say, like, being a teammate, like, from that perspective, even if he maybe didn't say it out loud.
You said it. I didn't
only
say it.
icky when you pointed at me, but, like, he didn't make it seem like that.
oh yeah, he did make it seem like that. But like, if you really think about it, if he did come to enjoy it, wouldn't you think he'd be better than he was?
Damn, I hope he never listens to this.
Oh, he fully admits he sucked. Like I talked to him before.
You
And
know what? He got a jacket.
He did?
Yeah. He had
No, he
2.5
didn't.
years. Yeah, he did.
I
He
thought it was
got
only for 3 years. He got it for 2.5.
He asked.
No way. I thought
I
you
don't know
did.
what
He got
talking
it back
about.
when he came back from He got it when he came back from.
Are you
sending abroad.
serious? I didn't know that.
Yeah, because he did 2.5, and he asked Vetter, and Vetter said yeah.
Bro, what? That's crazy. I didn't know that. Yeah, I don't know. It's very weird. I have no place to speak for myself. I mean, like I just went in just not expecting anything, because if you would have if you saw me in high school, you probably would have thought nothing of me. Like I literally was just a tumbler in high school, or like when I started off as a tumbler.
I don't think I would have thought nothing of you. That sounds harsh as hell.
Well, I meant like you wouldn't have. I had no cheer experience, and I only tumbled.
Most guys come in like that, though. Like
Yeah,
Germ.
but
Jaden.
like I went in fully thinking I was just gonna be a tumbler. Like I had tumbling skills back then, kind of.
I think everyone thinks they're going to be, every boy who tumbles thinks they're going to be a tumbler. I'm sure Germ didn't realize he was going to be a stunter until probably.
Did Jerem try out as like a tumbler? Mm-hmm. I didn't know that.
Well, isn't there also like a lot less expected of like the guys?
Yes.
For
Yeah.
like tryouts and stuff like
100%.
that.
Yeah,
They
for
could
sure.
come in having absolutely no experience.
Yeah.
But something about where their center of gravity is, they learn to get things a lot faster than girls.
Because I remember, didn't you like basically make the team because you're a guy?
Talking about in high school?
Well, even in college
Yes.
too, right?
Well, I had
like they were
cheer
just like, we need
experience,
dudes.
though.
Well, no, I
There
know, but
is not a singular boy turned away in college cheer, if we're being honest.
well, okay, because
There's
like
not a singular boy.
Yeah.
You could literally be the scrawniest man I've ever seen in my life, not be able to lift anything, and you could still cheer.
well, it's like okay, your experience obviously definitely helped, but like I remember like when dating back to middle school when Britt was doing cheerleading, she had to like to make. I don't know if this is how it was for you growing up, but like she had to make her own routine basically, or like they gave her music that they had to like do a routine for like tryouts or whatever.
Probably. It's like fight song and stuff.
But yeah,
that.
like for you guys, either of what you've told me or just what I've heard, you just go in and they're
Thomas,
like,
have you passed your alma mater test or your fight song test?
Yeah, I
in
have.
The first year?
Yeah.
All the years.
I like. Okay, when you mean pass, do you mean like Like word for word?
Yes.
Because I would get like instead of the word the, I would get like it would be like for instead of the.
Do you always have to tuck in the fight song?
I can't because my mirror couldn't tuck. That's why.
I feel like the expectations for guys are just lower in general.
Yeah, it is. Kind of.
Like you don't have to tumble at practice if you don't want to.
Oh, that's facts.
Like you don't have to do anything you
I
don't
100%
want
don't
to.
tumble
Like the
anymore.
expectations for you guys are a lot lower. Before tryouts, if you didn't decide you wanted to learn any of the material, you wouldn't get in trouble. And it wouldn't like count
We
against you.
weren't given material, honestly. Are you talking about like the sidelines and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's kind of yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. That I give that to
Well,
you.
yeah, because like even at I don't even really know what it is. There's one cheer you guys do like specifically at the end of the basketball games that's like my favorite.
The fight song?
Because it has to like do with like
That's
because
the
y'all
fight
like
song.
shuffle your feet at the end or whatever.
fight song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I'm always like mesmerized by that, like the way you guys move, and the guys in the back are just like going like this. And I was like,
Wait,
oh,
you
you,
know-
you're you
Oh,
guys
talking
got
about-
off the hook because like yeah, like if you go the whole game like flipping and like getting tossed in the air and everything, you're probably tired. And at the end of the game, you have to do the fight song, and the guys the entire time it's just only like moving their arms for the
Every
most part.
4 counts, they move their arms. That's
Yeah.
it.
Well, it's
So-
weird because like I don't know why this is a rule, but like as college cheer men or boys or whatever, we're not allowed to like move our feet. Like,
Incorrect.
I've been told
I was about to say,
that.
you're not
That-
allowed to move
I
your
was just
feet?
told that.
It's not traditional, but there's
I
no
think
rule
that's better.
against it.
I meant that's a better way. Like it's
But,
just
like,
not traditional,
you've
is what I've been
seen
told.
the Navarro boys dance.
I have not actually. I didn't even know they did.
And you can see, like, it depends on your school. But, like, our school is very, like, wholesome all-American. So
Yeah.
you guys aren't, like, you are traditional.
That makes sense. Yeah, I guess it's just based on traditions in the school. Because I don't care. Like, she's seen me do, like, the girls' version of the fight song.
I have a video of it, actually.
Yeah. So, like,
I don't want to see that video. To
but, like, I've done it before.
be
and
honest
it's not,
with you,
it's
I
not-
don't want to see that video.
I don't either. Because I
Cole's
forgot.
impressed by the fight song, but not when Thomas does it.
It's just like I don't know, like the thing with y'all's feet. Like I don't know how I like my rhythm would be completely off because you guys go from doing that to like something else, and then you go like back into it on rhythm.
Prance,
Huh?
and then you do a ripple, and then you do a
Sure.
tuck. Or no, you prance, you do a ripple, you prance again, you do a tuck, then you have a break, then you prance, you do a ripple, then you prance, and then you stunt.
Is prance the?
Yeah.
It's prancing.
It's just so cool. I don't know why, but yeah, it's like just the concentration for it, and then y'all are just in the back,
It used to be a concentration, but now it's like I can literally do it with
just
my eyes
muscle
closed,
memory,
yeah.
pretty much.
I did it, too, and I never really did it. I can do it, but, like,
I mean, you've watched it for 2 years now. Like,
yeah, so I feel like I could do it.
Well, it's funny too, because like part of me, I just like watch to see if anybody messes up, and none of you do. Like you all do it like perfectly.
That's like our one thing. Like you can't fuck it up.
You can't fuck up the fight song.
You can't. Like there's
Anything else, you can fuck up the fight song, you can't fuck up.
It's like the one thing. It's ours.
Like you'll get in trouble if you do.
No,
or
it's just like weird.
It's just, like,
tradition,
between you
guys.
I mean, it's tradition. Like
Yeah.
that's the one thing that's like ours.
No wonder on some of you I just see like sweat just coming down.
There's just one thing. No,
I'm on
one,
so much
the one
pressure
thing
right
that
now.
I love, the one thing that I saw one time mess up. It wasn't at a game. It was at a clinic. It was our last clinic,
Yeah.
and
I forgot to warm up my tuck.
she
before
forgot to
I
warm up her tuck for
Demoed, and then I demoed. Hands touched down in my tuck. I stood back up and did another one right after. I was so,
She did a tuck,
so mad.
but she like landed short, and she almost like fell into the kids in front of her. So she like ran forward.
Yeah, I almost trampled a kid.
And then she
that's
like
funny.
got up and continued doing it again.
Speaking of a kid, the one game I think it was. I can't remember if it was the one where your coach was gone. That was a really good game.
Oh, the one
Shocker.
where I was the coach of the game.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of times where Allie was.
No, it was like one of the assistant coaches. Did I
Paige. Does she wear glasses and popcorn?
I think so. I can't remember if she was wearing glasses, but I was honestly like at the end of the game, I'm going to tell her like, you did a way better job. Can you be the coach? I can't remember if it was that game or not though, but like the little girl that you guys like tossed up or whatever and like rotated.
Oh, that was Alicia.
Yeah, that was really cute. I liked
I don't
it.
think,
Yeah.
you were there for that game.
It was our shadow day. all of the sports teams and marketing, we all had a shadow for the day, and they got to be like on the headsets and like tell us all
I
what to
didn't know
do.
that.
Was that the game where your coach wasn't there?
Yeah, it was Alicia.
It was our
Shocker. That was like
assistant.
one of the ones that I remember the most.
Yeah.
So, because then the other one was
No
like, I
comment?
know you guys have to be kind of quiet about
No
it, but
comment.
the other thing that made no sense to me, because I think you actually like look back at me. I can't remember if you were there or if it was just Crit. Well, I wouldn't have gone to go see.
It was him.
Yeah, it was you.
Okay.
We were losing, and it was like the last 30 seconds, and like we could have come back, but I mean, it's Charlotte sports don't have a good history of like coming back. I feel like, but we were losing, and your coach was like, "All right, go get ready for the flags." And you were
Yeah,
like,
I remember that.
what? And then, like they were in the. Even I was confused. I was like, "Why are y'all prepping the flags? We're about to lose because you only do it when you win." But
Yeah.
but yeah. And then like you were in the tunnel, and I was like, and then yeah, and then
No,
we
'cause
lost. And
I was with you. I wasn't like doing the game. I was like watching
Oh,
the game
that's
with you.
right.
And I looked at, because it was White Squad. It was Craig, and they were doing it, and they were running through the flags. And I looked over, and I went to the people in the tunnel. I was like, "Why are y'all preparing for flags? We're about to lose." And they're like, "No, coach told us to do it." I was like, "Dude, what?"
yeah,
Okay.
they went into the tunnel for like 20 seconds, and then coach was like, "All right, come back out." And I looked at her just like,
That happens more than you think.
what? That's crazy. It's almost like when she didn't coach that one game, it seemed like everybody was having fun, and it went pretty smoothly. So again,
No comment.
choose not to comment on it, but that's just my perception.
I don't know what
so-
we're talking about.
What are we talking about? I don't even know what you're talking about.
Who? What?
I didn't say that. You said that.
I said you said that.
Who?
But okay, blink twice if this is the case, and because nobody will know. But is it just like in general everybody feels that everybody feels that way about your coach? Okay, cool. I have my answer. They blinked once, wink for everybody, but like there's not a soul on the team that like feels differently. Okay. I don't you'd be surprised. I feel like sometimes even
me and Allie have talked to a lot of people.
no, but like you know what I mean. Like sometimes
I think that it's come to the point where it's like you just have to decide, do you love the sport enough to deal with everything you have to deal with, or do you walk away?
well, in my mind, the reason I ask that question is because I know, like, sometimes in groups, you guys, like, I'm sure you know about this, but like, there'll always be at least that one person that's just kind of like numb to it and they don't really care. Like, just be like, yeah, like I don't really agree with it, but they're just kind of like, okay, or like contempt, I guess.
there were some people like that, but it's gotten worse to the point where like people that have
It used
numb
to be
it.
Thomas. That used to be Thomas.
Yeah, that used to be me. Like I used to be like, I don't care. Like it's fine, whatever. As long as I get to stunt and stuff like that, whatever. Like if you asked me last year, I would have been like, yeah, I don't really care. But now it's just kind of like, how has it gotten to the point where I care? That's the thing.
I mean, I've always cared. I'm loudmouth.
But like you know
So-
me, I don't really care. I'm very like a simple-minded man. Like I don't really care much.
I forgot.
I'm a
You're.
simple-minded man.
I really am.
I forgot. You're graduating at the end of this semester, right?
In May.
Yeah. So, because I was gonna ask you, I don't know. I always forget like how old some of you guys are. Because Michaela's
Because
She's a
I'm
year
20.
younger than us.
Huh?
She's a
It's
year
'cause
younger
I'm
than
20.
us.
Well, yeah. Well, Michaela's is she 20 or 9?
No, she's 21.
Is
She's
she?
the right age.
Yeah, she's our age.
Oh, that's right. She's a senior too.
Gracie's
See,
also-
I always confused like how old
Gracie
everybody
is 21 as well. She's older
she?
than me, and
Yeah.
she is.
Gracie's only like 2 or 3 months older than you.
Yeah.
I mean, younger than you. Sorry.
Her birthday is December 31st, actually.
Well, so the reason that was funny was when Cam was on her episode, I don't think I ever knew how old she was. So I was like, oh yeah, have you been in a sorority for like the 3-4 years you've been on campus now, whatever? She's like, yeah, I've been on it for like the 1 year I've been here. And I was like, oh, because she's
a
younger.
Oopsies.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah, you're graduating. Because I was gonna say like, are you gonna be on the team next year? But
I'm
Well,
still
Coach-
eligible for it,
I mean, we have all of us are.
but I'm
like
still going to
post graduation.
You can be in grad school and be on the cheer team.
Well, you're taking a gap, so you're.
I'm
you're
not.
also not graduating this semester.
Yeah.
But
So-
he's still eligible for
I'm
the
not
fall
coming-
semester,
I'm
but
not
he's
coming
not
back.
going back. And
Well,
then
because I don't.
I'm hopefully Charlotte take me back. Still going to be enrolled in the university, so I'm still eligible.
Well, part of her being a part of the example, I think Cam said she's not going back next year. So
A lot of them has said that.
I'll believe that when I see it.
Well, she's getting MRI for her wrist next week.
I will believe that all these people are not coming back when I see it.
That's facts, though.
That's the cheerleader thing. Like, we all say we're not coming back, and then we're back again.
which like is kind of sad if you think about it. Not just for you guys, if like you go there and it's just a bunch of new people, and you're like, poor you guys, because you have to like deal with it or whatever. But even for me too, like if I go to these games, because I'm not graduating until next spring, so like if I go to these games and I see people,
I'll go to games with you.
Well, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, if we go to the games and you don't know anybody, like you'll get to know them probably just from being in the program, and you'll just like talk to people maybe. But because I'm sure there'll be a couple people that are like still gonna be on the team. But like for me, if I don't really know any of them, I'll be like, because now like it's cooler now to like to go to the games more often.
And you see your friends.
Yeah, and like I can say hi to more people when I go, because it obviously used to just be Thomas, but now like you, Cam, Michaela, like other people that I see there, I'll be like, oh hey guys, like when you're walking off. But like, yeah, if I go there and like there's nobody there.
It's funny because I remember the first game you went in like this season, and you guys didn't know him, but like you guys knew of him, and like he was at the game, and he would just be waving his phone like, hey, hop on the game, and we'd just be playing, and I'm just like turning around laughing, and you would just turn to me like, stop laughing, like stop talking. I'm like, sorry.
Drill sergeant.
Well, that's why the whole thing's been so fun. Is like I would do that knowing probably that the people that turn around would be like, again, what is that? Like, why are they doing that? And then now
What?
they understand like why I did that. But because no, the other one, which that was a whole story itself, when I saw what Cam looked like for the first time, because like we passed her, and you're like, there's a raid going on. And she's like, what? And I was like, wait, that's what Cam looks like? And I was like, I would not expect her to play Pokemon on her phone. So I thought that was kind of funny. But do you play Pokemon?
No.
Damn.
The no games besides solitaire. I love solitaire.
And now poker.
Poker is okay.
I mean, I had fun.
I had fun, but like, would I go play poker on my phone? No.
Yeah.
I did, and then I lost all my money. So.
Speaking of which, so we need to figure out this Wednesday what all we're going to be doing.
I mean, I don't know.
Let's go watch Norman play flag football at 9.
Playing flag football on Wednesday.
Yes.
On 9.
At 9. We can do something before, but let's watch Norman play flag football.
I don't even want to see like what he looks like without the costume. It's like one of those unmasked moments.
You'll
It's like Batman. You don't know what he looks like without the costume.
Guys, you come to watch flag football on Wednesday. You know what Norman looks like.
You meet the man himself.
The man, the myth.
Is he the tall one or the short one? I keep
The
forgetting.
tall one.
And that's O, right?
Oh, O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Or his nickname.
Ow. Norman.
No, his other nickname.
M.
Yeah.
What?
His words. He stood up on the bus and said it to everyone. So
That's how everyone figured it out.
he said, we were. I think Germ was singing the song like, "You thought I was feeling you." That.
Yeah.
Okay. So then. Skips half the words.
Oh my god.
So then he was like, yeah, and he kept saying it, and he kept saying it, and I was like,
What?
I was like, Norman, maybe don't say that like.
We get
out
it, bro.
loud.
Yeah.
And then he stood up and he was like, he didn't say it loud, but he was like, I just want everyone to know that I am. And I was like, this man is wild.
What is that?
And I told him what it meant, and he was like, I could see it. Yeah. You know who you need to have on here? Norman. He can tell you about his number system.
His number system.
I think you told me a little bit about it.
He has a number system.
Yeah, he told me.
For
She told me about it a little bit.
Names and numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yeah.
For like a rating?
No.
Huh? Okay.
You know like how people have bases? His bases go up to 10.
So you know how like yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's like the Gabriel Iglesias, just like fat, chubby, and like, do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, the damn.
Yeah, like, damn.
Yeah.
But like it's 10 levels basically.
10?
He's only gotten up to 3.
So why is there 10?
There's 6.
It's
and then
important to
when
set goals.
There's 6, and then when we were in Texas, we added.
You guys added it to the 6?
We didn't do like we added it, like told him what the rest of the numbers are. Because like he had 6, and we were like, but you said that this has always been your end goal, so that needs to be number 10. We're like, well, what are the steps that you would take to get to number?
You know what I'm so curious about? I feel like if he or like just all 3 of us would take a rice purity test and see how that would go.
I think in general, Cole would pass the highest.
Yeah, probably.
I've taken one in the past. I'm pretty sure.
There was someone that took it recently that was,
It was
very surprised about how
the
low
result
it was.
was just like go
we
outside.
took one over spring break with everyone I went to spring break with, and I will say I was the second highest score.
Highest meaning like
Highest
Like
meaning
AO.
No, like opposite.
highest meaning like haven't
Really?
haven't done as much as the
Yeah,
rest of
that's-
the people.
yeah.
Oh,
around.
okay.
The rest
that
of the
tracks
room,
more.
I was like, "There's no way."
How
And
much-
you would be surprised as to who had done less than me. It's not who you think it is.
Less than you?
It's not who you think it is too.
Like,
I feel like we should keep that under wraps.
No,
probably.
I'm not gonna tell you, but I'm telling you, like you would be.
I'm so
You'd be
curious.
so surprised about the placements of it.
What? I want to know. I'm so curious.
What happens at the beach stays at the beach.
Yikes. Well,
It's
Is that
like
why? Is that
Vegas.
why I wasn't invited?
That's not why you weren't invited.
ooh.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So wait, if there's like a girl that y'all know he's been like talking about or whatever, he'll be like, Jennifer 4.
It's a note in his phone.
What?
That's so stupid to me.
Oh, I know.
Bro, you know like the not the base system, but have you heard of like the post adult activity like rating where people are like, how was it or something like that? You know what I'm talking about?
Huh?
Sex is what I'm talking about. Rate like how it was, I think.
To them?
No, like on her phone, she has like a list.
Oh, yeah, you told me about that.
I gotta tell you guys a story after we finish this.
Oh,
Oh,
dear.
no.
I'm
Oh,
sorry I brought it
no.
up.
Oh, no.
But no, she showed it or she like read it to me one day. I didn't ask, obviously.
She just came out and like showed it to you.
Well, she wanted me to be on the list, which was part of the dispute. But like she was reading it to me. I can't remember like.
Dude, what if she
Cole's
does
like,
listen to
I
this?
don't want to be a part of that shit.
Well, if you have a list in the first place, I probably don't want to be a part of that list.
Valid.
But like it. No, I'm not going to talk about it because it was really weird. So I was like, why does this exist?
I remember because I was there too.
But from what I've heard, that's like somewhat common.
Having a
I
list?
think
Not a list, but like.
people know internally how they're gonna rank people. Like
Yeah.
I don't have a ranking in my phone because I'm an adult and I think that's a bit childish. But that's just my personal opinion.
There's some things
you
I
do
just
what
want
you
to
want,
forget.
but
Yeah, I understand more.
let's address that. And I think
What
you
did you
should seek therapy about that, bud. I'm not sure that was normal.
What did he say?
We're just gonna go past.
He was like, "There's some things I want to forget."
We can't because it keeps being brought up.
Yeah, if it's on a note page on my phone, it won't be forgotten.
I don't think you can forget what's done in the dark is still done.
I just like I don't know how you would like be proud of that.
A note,
Like you
a
go
note
back
page,
and like look in your phone
be like, "Oh yeah, he was a 5."
for like a rating of
Blech.
like.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't just like an over. So hers was like way more weird, and I won't
They
go
had
into like
details in
full
it?
detail of it, but there were like more in depth like.
like positions.
No,
not like.
more like.
Ew, ick.
Yeah.
That's so weird.
So
That was when we were in high school.
If you're in high school,
Yeah, she was doing that stuff in high school.
I mean, doing that stuff in high school, but doing that stuff in high school with a note card or a note sheet is wild.
There's a lot more about her that you would be like,
hence
wow,
why
that's
I
crazy.
didn't make the list. So
I had
so
a
was like-
friend.
You didn't want to be on the list. It's not like you didn't make the list.
I had a
Correct.
friend
You could have been on.
yesterday-
The
Oh, I
list.
made the list.
You
I
could have
just-
been on the list.
I
You
was just like,
didn't.
no, I'm cool. But
Yeah, you could have been up there. That could have been a flex for you.
No, we would not have been a
no,
flex.
it wouldn't have been a flex. I guarantee you.
He would have been in the same boat. Like I want to forget that.
No, because okay, like if you think about this, mom and dad, I'm so sorry if you guys are listening to this conversation. But like, the more you think about it though too, is like if I actually was on that list, I would probably be thinking a lot about like where I fell on that list, like the categorization.
Yeah, you would always
So
compare
and I
yourself.
wouldn't want to think about that. So
Yeah.
but
To whomever I'm with in the future, I will never rank you on my note card phone. That's weird.
Instead, she would just rank you internally.
I mean, you can rank internally. Like, I'm sure you know who was a terrible kisser and who was a good kisser. Like,
well also
you know that in your head, but you don't have to like write it out. Like, that's ick.
Also-
and you don't have to describe their body parts.
well
That's ick.
yeah. I don't know, there's just like old school, I guess it is nowadays, but I wouldn't want to go around like talking to people about that. Like Thomas might be like the only person that I would like have a conversation with about that kind of stuff.
I don't talk about it much with
I
other
think
people.
girls
too.
are a lot different. We share like way too much.
That's
stuff.
what I'm so scared about women.
Yeah, but like
But it's not in a gross way. It's not in a way like. It's not like, oh, he was not. And
Oh,
he
that's what I'm
was not.
saying.
It's more like a, oh my God, guess what I did?
yeah, I understand that.
Like, it's not like a way that's like gross, and it's not like a. I mean, it's still graphic, but it's not.
well, it's like the I know you've seen it. Did you watch Friends?
Yeah.
This is like one of the only clips that I never, because I never finished it, but it was the whole was it Ross and Rachel? I can't remember.
They were on a break.
No, help me out here. You'll remember it better. But like they showed the difference between like the girls talking about it and the guys talking about it.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, it was so magical. Tell me everything. They like bust out the wine, and then they cut to the guys. It was like, yeah, so we made out, and I was like, oh, nice. It was like tongue, yeah, cool.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then
yeah,
that was
yeah.
it. Like that was the whole
No, there's, like,
conversation.
were they big? Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought that was kind of funny.
And that honestly is kind of more like an accurate description of like how
Yeah.
girls are. Like we're
No,
very
yeah.
like we'll tell you not every detail, but we'll tell you every detail of like how things made you
Some people
feel,
will.
But it's more like how they made you feel versus how like how it was. If that makes
Well,
sense.
because like over last summer when I was telling you about that versus you guys, because y'all were just like asking me questions
About what?
questions, and then when I was telling you,
about the summer.
I think I know what you're talking about, but
yes, you're right. So when I was, so like
Yeah.
when I was telling you about it, you're like, all right, cool. And then when I was telling you about it, you're like, oh, did everything go well? Blah 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 blah. And I was in Texas at this point. And
That's how like our normal girl conversations are, where we're like,
Yeah, I know, but y'all were wanting more, but I was like, that was fine, like whatever.
Yeah.
And then y'all were like, no, like I want to hear more. I'm like, there's nothing else more.
I can totally see.
Besides, like, out of our friend group, like, the girls on our side, we, like, share good details.
Okay, also, that just made me remember. Obviously, I'm not going to say names. You told me some whack stuff about some of your teammates.
About my
like the open stuff that they will, like, talk about.
like what? Wait, like who? Sorry. Wait, what?
Like, oh, I can't use names.
Give me just an example.
I can't. Like, it's just so.
Obvious.
I'm trying to think.
Give me like a less drastic example. Let me say that.
Like,
I don't know.
No? Huh?
What did you say?
just kidding. He never told you that part.
What did you say?
Well, now I'm curious.
Wait, what
I
did you?
can't tell you.
Sorry?
What? I didn't know about that.
Okay, I guess I just don't know what you're saying.
Huh?
We
I'm
could.
surprised you don't know.
Do
Everyone,
I know that?
Everyone knows about
Who?
that story. Who? Yeah, I'm gonna tell you who right now.
You tell me later. Just tell me
Yeah,
later.
yeah.
So, John. No.
It's
Um.
actually John Michael.
Well.
I actually know a John Michael.
Okay.
I
so
love double names.
we
Side
won't go
note.
into the detail about it, but like you'll just tell me stuff that like your teammate, like some of you guys are just very open about like interactions.
I think I know what you're
You know
talking
what I'm talking about?
Yes. I know what you're
So-
talking about.
Okay, you probably need to stop talking because you're gonna like say stuff that he just doesn't know about. You're gonna have to explain.
Yeah, I'm gonna actually.
So
tell
that's
him
probably in your
that.
best
You're talking
interest in
about
that.
after my party.
No, that's not what I'm talking about.
What are you
Actually,
talking about? Oh, huh?
You know what I'm talking
I
about?
know a story. Now
Yes.
someone has to tell me a
So
story.
obviously that's why I'm not going to say that
I
on the
forgot about
podcast.
that. Yes.
Wait, you do know that or you don't know
I
that?
don't know it, but I'm gonna know it after this.
Well, you have two things now that you got to talk about.
Yo. Okay. Anyways.
Well, it's not really tea. It's just like a little thing he'll bring up, and I'm like, why did you
No,
tell me that?
it's.
But
I don't bring those things up. It's because we're like on a similar topic usually.
Also, you have to understand, like,
don't look at me like that.
you
We
have
talk
to,
about weird
you
things
have
like
to
that.
understand the bond of teammates is actually astronomical. Like,
no, which I love. But like,
for like my other friends who I'm not teammates with, I do not tell them that
Oh, yeah.
many intimate details of my
Yeah.
life, like about anything. Like I talk to them, but like it's just when you're with someone so much.
When you
and
spend
then
like 40 hours a week with
and
people.
then honestly, they become your like other half, other quarter, other. Like it's like weird to not be with them.
For me, the weird part is like you knowing about that stuff, because some of you are like so open that they just don't care. I guess like who knows that information,
Yeah.
and then like,
mean?
huh?
Why is it weird that I know that?
Like I just feel like they wouldn't tell it like a guy about that. I feel like that makes sense.
You have to you won't understand what it's like being on a co-ed team unless you're on a co-ed team.
Well, yeah, like I know you guys are
think
like I know you guys are like a big family and everything, so that's the
It's-
part that I don't really get. But
It's not that. It's more like
It,
the boys on our team. Like, I'm obviously really good friends with you. I'm good friends with Germ. I'm good friends with Norman. I'm good friends with RJ. I'm good friends with what other boys do we have? Jaden,
Craig.
Like
Yeah.
all of our boys, like I'm actually close to, except for one.
Yeah. Well, it's just for me personally. I was actually talking to Sarah about this today, but like, I feel like when I'm on this team, whenever I don't know why I say role, but like I feel like I take care of like one person at least at some point in time. So like as like a brotherly figure, because they go to parties and stuff like that, and I always get sometimes calls like, "Hey,
I
can you
guess
guys
that
pick me
makes
up?"
sense,
Yeah,
yeah.
so like I just take care of maybe not everyone, but like some people and most people. So they just I guess feel open to talk to me about stuff like that, which I'm like fine. I don't care. I don't really remember half the things they tell me.
or
though.
maybe like I also too understand 'cause, like depending on who it is, I too understand sometimes like if you're just the first person they come in contact with, you just want to like talk about it with somebody.
Yeah.
It's like I guess
also, like it's like safe space vibes. Like at practice, I could probably talk to half the room at one time about the most randomest shit going on in my life, and like he would be on that half of people.
well that's
And he's like that for pretty much everyone.
That's the part that I like about it, though, because like if I was on your team, for instance, and I heard like I guess some of the stuff that you guys talk about, the trips down to like Florida or whatever, there could be a joke that would land that would probably just make the whole bus laugh that pertains to like one thing in particular
Yeah.
that like has to do with that, which I think is kind of like the cool part about it.
Yeah.
Some of it though, I might like keep to myself, depending on like what it is that
But
you guys
the
are
thing
talking
is-
about.
The
but
thing is, the good thing about people telling me is that because I have such a shit memory that like I don't.
that's
remember.
also true.
It just like I forget.
you just
Valid
won't
as fuck.
remember. Yeah.
Like I forget half the time. Like
But-
people talk about it, I'm like, what? I don't remember that.
Yeah.
And I'm
But
just like,
the
oh.
thing about being together like 40 hours a week, like you're with that person through their breakup, their makeup, their hell week, their good week, partying at Joe's on girls'
Wednesday,
night,
yeah.
and then going again on Saturday night. Like travel team to Texas, regular competition travel to Florida, like on a bus for 12 hours together.
No AC.
Literally no
Sticking
AC.
Takis in
You're
my mouth.
sleeping on top of each other. You're shoving food down each other's throats. You're
Trying not to choke each other.
You're crying in the back of the mat together. Like, it's just an experience that like no other sport is like it. Like I
It
literally
really is.
don't know how
It's
to
really
describe
true.
it.
I mean, I guess that's another thing too that I fail to look at sometimes is like, to a certain extent, obviously you guys might feel differently about it. You can't really be fake around each other because you just kind of see everyone for like who they are, I
Well,
guess.
it's also because like we kind of don't really have time to be fake with one another because you either have to trust, like you literally trust them with your life. Because
Yeah.
if you're being thrown in the air and if you don't trust them, you're not gonna go.
Well, okay, obviously, like I understand that part
Yeah.
of it, but I'm just talking more in like, because there's some days where like I might just be in a bad mood, but I don't really feel like talking about it. But because like you were talking about, you guys are around each other so often, like it's just gonna have to You got to talk to somebody about it. So like it's gonna come out.
Yeah, but there's
eventually.
day. I mean, like let's say you do have a bad day. There's some days where I've had bad days and she's had bad days, and we just kind of like don't. We're just there for each other. Maybe not like talking, but we're just there.
Yeah.
Like
well, I mean, that's me a lot. Like whenever
Yeah.
I have my shit days, I like go into it. Like everyone knows, if I walk in the door with headphones on and the headphones do not come off, I am not having.
Oh,
a
she
good
like
day.
doesn't talk to anyone.
I am not having a good day if the headphones don't come off.
And-
And then at practice, they like give me my space, but then they also somehow manage to like figure out how to like coax it out of me.
Mm-hmm.
But like, you know what's going on. Like,
Well, it's worse because those days are also the days I accidentally punch her in the face, and then she wants to murder me. So
valid.
It is pretty impeccable timing.
yeah,
from what
but
I've
like
heard.
usually, like I figure out a way to like be there for her while she's like mad, and they're there for me whenever I'm like getting frustrated and stuff like that.
It's nice though too because it's also if there's somebody that like you just don't f with at the time or something, the entire team just like hates that person now,
Swear.
which I think is hilarious. Like
Tell me about it.
like
Tell me about
I
it.
know you have stories.
When he was on the bus and like, she doesn't watch this at all, right?
I don't think so.
Okay,
He?
well when
She.
Oh,
when we were on the bus and she was blowing up your phone, I'm telling you, the whole bus was like,
Oh.
"Oh, we'll answer the phone. We'll call her right
Oh,
now.
yeah, I know
we'll
what you're
answer the
talking
phone. Oh, block
Oh,
her.
maybe
We'll all
I-
block her right now." Like,
Oh, I don't know. She might listen to this, but
well, no, that's
sorry, girl.
That's what I'm saying. Like stuff like that's I think actually who I was referring to. But
Yeah.
there'll be instances like that where that name just gets brought up. The entire team at one time just you just
Bro.
hear
what are those like animals called like that pop out the ground?
groundhog.
Yeah, literally when I I had to think about the name for a second. Don't look at me like that. Hey, don't
The
look at-
sigh of disappointment.
No.
What
okay.
are the hogs that pop out of the ground called?
No,
Let
it's
me
those
put my
animals.
thinking. Yeah, I know, but
Anyways,
What are the
when I
animals that pop out of the ground?
look, literally what happened? I swear on the bus, right?
I think
just
I know where
chilling.
you're going with this.
I was literally just chilling, right? And I look at my phone, and it says like the person, and I look up, and I like was looking around, and like everyone's like, "What's going on?" I said, "This person's calling me." Every single head went up.
I'm
What
telling
was
you.
going on? Because not only that, everyone took a video of me talking on the phone.
Really?
Every single
Yes.
person.
Do you have
took
a video of him talking about?
I can go find it.
Yeah,
But like, it is very true. Like in that moment, we were all like, "Who the fuck is this bitch? Like, the fuck does she want? Give us
See,
the phone."
you
Give us the
have
phone."
that where like you have the support at be like, oh man, don't waste your time on her, and then you have the other where they're gonna embarrass you and take a recording of phone
Oh,
conversations.
we're definitely both at the same time. Like we're full on embarrassing him because we told him she should have been blocked months ago.
I told him that probably eons before you guys told him
No,
that,
and
and
then
it still
when
never
he
happened.
told me that they hung out after that, I literally, I'm telling
know
you,
about that.
the 4 girls, we were all pissed off. Bailey was like, "I'm not talking about this anymore. I'm so fucking over it." And I said,
Is
"Yeah,
it fair?
same."
Well, no, because he'll come
Same.
home in like an odd mood. I'm like, what's going on with you? And he'll tell me, and I'm like, why? Like, why would you put yourself?
As soon as he said that that's what was happening, I was like, "For what?"
Okay, I don't want to talk about my life anymore, guys.
Exactly.
Calm down.
But
let me
if
Isn't
you-
this about you in this episode? First up, I don't think we've talked
always-
about
it
her.
always-
I don't think we've talked about her like at least once.
This is the chaos, brother. I told you, this is just our excuse for this episode, just
but
for talking about whatever.
I don't know. We are very all. I think we were only all annoyed at you because we're like, you're not even protecting your own peace. That's just irritating. Yeah,
Tell me about it.
Yeah,
protect your peace.
I am now. I'm pretty good with my piece. You know what's funny? I was actually talking to Michaela yesterday, and no, it was either Michaela or Alana because I saw them at the liquor store yesterday, and
They took a picture and sent it in the
They're
group chat.
natural.
They took a picture and sent it in the group chat and said, "Look who I ran into." And I was like,
Who's Alana?
Old
do you know? Do
teammate.
you remember that place that I said, "Hey, can you pick me up?" My car got towed.
Yeah.
That it was her
house.
place.
She was on the team. She graduated my first year on the team, which would have been 2021. She graduated May 2021.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so she was at the liquor store yesterday, and I was talking to them. And they're like, "What are you doing tonight?" I said, "Oh, I'm going to the gym. It's the usual night." And they're like, why don't you like go out and do something? Like it's St. Patty's Day, like you should celebrate and stuff like that. I'm like, I am celebrating. I'm hitting back and buys today. Like that's my celebration today. And they're like, you're lame. And I'm like, do you do anything? I'm like, no, my life is peaceful. Like I like it this way. And they're like, that's fair. Like your life should be peaceful. I'm like, I mean, yeah. But then you told me on the way here, you're like, your life is boring. And I'm like,
Oh, okay. No.
That sounds like an Allie thing to say.
I did not say it was boring. I just said you're looking for people in the wrong places.
Which
I
is
feel like I'm
awesome.
looking people in the right places because if they're in the environments that I enjoy, that
But
means.
do you interact with them?
No, you got me there.
Well-
Okay.
I mean, she's not wrong. I don't talk to people.
Well, it also it kind of just goes back to like the fundamental principle of just like being a dude. Like the meme that made me laugh that Craig liked on Twitter, which like we could hang out at like a barbecue for 6 hours and leave not knowing anything about each
Yeah,
other.
that's so true.
Like I could talk with somebody about sports for like 4 hours, and
I
then
would kill myself.
see him later, and they're like, I met that guy the other day. Like, what's his name? I'm like,
No, if you see me at the gym, I know so many people at the
No,
gym.
you're like you always say like, oh, the guy who like lives next to me, like the other guy, blah, blah, blah. Oh, that's the guy that does this, and that. And I'm like, what are their names?
I don't know the names.
Yeah, we'll the times I go with him, like somebody will come over, dap him up. They'll talk for like 2 minutes and then walk away. I was like, "Who's that?" And he's like, and just puts his headphones back on. I'm like, "Okay, cool."
It's true. Like we just don't know each other. We know each other because we're there at the same time all the time. But like other than that,
which is
like,
different from me because like I would like if I meet somebody, I would subconsciously be like, "Oh, I wonder if Josh is here or something," and then like. If I see him, I'll be like, "Oh, hey!" And
What's crazy? I feel like it's the opposite for girls. Like if I see the same girl every week, I'm gonna be like, oh my god, what's your name? Like, let me follow you on social media. Like,
oh yeah, 100%.
girls are not like gonna sit there and talk for 4 hours and they never know your name. Like,
well,
that,
we don't talk that much at the gym. That's the thing. That's different.
But even if like that small interaction, I'd be like, what's your Insta? If I didn't know their name, like, what's your Insta? 'Cause
I don't
need to
have.
know.
I don't know any of their names. I don't know their socials. I don't know anything. Like I, literally just in gym interaction.
Dapping up a random guy every week.
The only
Yeah.
number that you have is their PR
Literally.
or like what time they come in.
Yeah.
Oh, bro, you lifted 315 last week.
Okay, all right. Yo, I benched 275. My man. That's literally it. That's the only support we need in life.
You see what's so cool? Like we just learn stuff about each other. So there you know. Well, not that you probably don't already know that about Thomas, but
Oh, I've learned a little too much sometimes.
You're the one that asked, not me. Be careful what you ask for.
you said that. I didn't say
What did you say was the hardest thing during your 75 soft? Double mic for that one.
Hey! That is not something we're supposed to talk about.
if it's going where I think it's going, I'm really proud of you if you made that joke. If
I
we're talking about the same thing. If not, this is going to be really
I
awkward.
don't know.
Okay.
We're talking
The
after.
fact that you're proud of him for this is giving me the ick.
No, but it's like just solely from like a comedic standpoint. Because Thomas has very rare like funny moments that like actually okay.
You're
that's,
actually not fucking funny at all.
that sounds terrible. He knows what I'm talking about.
Golly.
But he has like very rare moments that like I give him credit. I'm like, that was really good. Like it like genuinely like made me laugh. But like if that's one of them, that's pretty good actually. I like that. But like like the priceless one. You don't know about that. Should we keep that stuff to like between
No,
us?
we can tell. I don't care.
Okay, so like we were in Target like a month or two ago, maybe
It was
longer.
like way longer than that.
Maybe
It was like
longer.
2 or
I
3
don't
months.
know.
It was like 4 months.
The time period's not important, but I think I was like buying some like supplies or something, and he takes the scan gun and just like goes up and down with it on me. And I looked at him. I was like, "What the hell are you doing?" And he goes, "As I suspected, priceless." And then like the other one from high school that like still kills me to this day, it was like we make jokes. It's terrible, but like we make jokes sometimes about like if somebody's like walking across the street while we're driving, we make the joke about like flooring it, like hitting them or something. And I was like, "Do you get like bonus points if you like hit somebody?" And he goes, "Yeah, on your license." So like he has like very like rare quick-witted moments where I'm just like, "Well, that was pretty good actually." So
Cole said all your jokes are shit, and you're surprisingly
you
funny
said that. I
sometimes.
didn't say that.
I just summed up what you said.
I didn't say that in any
Summary:
capacity.
Thomas is only funny once a
No,
year.
he has like
Hey, no. Maybe not this year, but last year was.
he has like the quick ones, but like those ones that are like
Yeah.
really clever that you have to like give them credit for.
As I
That's
suspected, Priceless is pretty good.
that one was phenomenal.
That's a good
I
one.
need to use that one day, but
I was just feeling goofy that day, I
Use
guess.
that on your next date.
he
Be like,
what?
oh, let's go around Target.
Priceless. I did it to Zuri like 2 days ago. She wasn't looking,
Priceless
so
thing?
it was pretty cool. Yeah, but I like shot her in the bag with like the scan gun or whatever. I was like, yes, and she was on her phone, so she didn't look at me. So it was pretty cool. But I thought it was pretty funny.
Hey, dude, sometimes I'm smooth and sometimes I'm funny, and there's times where I'm just
I
shit.
feel like Cole has the most riz, but he doesn't use it.
I have the most potential.
Like, you have the best, like, comebacks and the best jokes and the best everything, but, like, unless it's a familiar crowd, no.
No, it works with like.
I've started to like okay, so like for our poker night though too, I've started like warm up a little bit because
Yeah.
there's people there that I wouldn't normally like. Okay, I love Kayla, like I'm cool with Kayla, but I'm still kind of like feeling her out, I guess. Guy I've only talked to like once at the party. Michaela, like I'm still kind of getting to know a little bit. So like in that environment, I'm more comfortable with it, but. It's also too like if he's with me and we're in a group of people that we don't really know, I might like make one or two to just kind of like feel it out.
Test the water.
Yeah, but if it's like just me, sometimes if it'll have to be like more close friends. But he got it on me like all the time. Like your best
mean?
moves are like on the practice dummy,
Yeah.
which is me.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like the whole thing.
No
Like, oh,
risk.
yo, say that out in public. And he's like,
Me?
no,
Or you-
yes.
oh.
Because like I will say it in public, or like I'll like tell you stuff that I do, and you're like, oh, like this, and I'm like, no, don't do that.
Oh yeah, he says like, yo, that was good. Are you gonna say that to anyone? I'm like, nah, I'm scared.
Yeah.
He often says he's scared of women.
Or like we'll be in like a social setting where like somebody will say something like, say it, Thomas, say it. And then he'll say something like really stupid, and I'm like, oh, you sold, bro. Like it was right there for the grabbing. He just like
But like,
fumbled the
I don't
bag.
have that many chances. Plus, I don't really use them because I don't really care.
Oh, well, that might be the problem.
I actually don't have that many chances.
Several chances, if that's where you're going with it.
What chances do I have?
You got the hair twirl and everything. You know she's serious about this. Just saying.
Anyways, let's actually talk about our guest because I feel like once again we haven't talked about Aliya at all.
Well, you should be proud because you hit the 2-hour threshold.
There's
Threshold.
no fucking way.
Yeah, it's 2 hours.
There's literally no fucking way.
2:04 was the last.
You're
second that I just
shitting
said.
me.
It doesn't feel like 2 hours.
Depends
right?
on what I'm cutting from the beginning, from like that random conversation
Probably like
that we were having.
5
but-
minutes, so
but
like
yeah.
2:55.
You're shitting me. There's
It
I
doesn't
will
feel
say
like
though
right.
too, we set a record. We went 23 minutes without actually like talking about something of importance. So give yourself a round of applause.
It was 23 minutes.
Yeah. Like when we were actually like, all right, so chaos, by the way, 23 minutes is how far we got into it. So, yeah.
You have something in your face. The other side. There you go.
What was that?
I think it was this.
Do you like the
From my
cat?
couch.
No, you did like a little cat, like wipe off your face.
I was using like my hand.
You
I
just,
didn't know-
you just
I
like go
didn't
like
know you were
this.
our roommate's cat.
Anyway,
Hey.
this makes it worse for me because anything over 2 hours, my computer I can cook eggs on it because it's just so hot. So I'll have to figure out how we're doing this. But
Good luck.
Thanks. Again, I'll be up till 5 in the morning. Tom's
Well, what
and
time
I'll
is
be
it?
like 12.
It's only 12.
No, I'm not doing that
It's what?
tonight. God, no, I'm not doing
Yeah.
that tonight.
It's 12.
There's no fucking way.
Yeah, at least
And I
it's
still have to
12.
make food. So
All right, I have pizza. I came from.
is that yours?
Yeah.
Oh,
I came
I
from
thought
El
that was
Mushroom earlier.
somebody else.
How
I
the
thought
hell did it get to midnight?
time goes by when you're
Having fun.
having good conversation, right?
Yeah.
I don't even know what we talked about.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Like it did not control chaos.
half
but
these episodes I go back and I'm like, how did we get here? Like, why are we talking about this right now?
That's what I'm saying.
We
Well,
talked about my water intake, and that's all I remember.
that's what I remember too.
That was the last
That's all I
Like,
remember talking about myself.
interesting things that you
I
do.
told you, like we didn't talk. Okay,
And we started talking about the team, and we started talking about like
and then we started ranking.
the inner mechanisms of the team.
Well, my question before 2 hours went by, I was gonna ask was your brain. Let's nitpick it real quick.
Oh dear. Well, we need to wrap this up here in a second, so
No, literally.
we might not get into like a whole ass conversation.
We
We're
can just get-
nitpicking on a quick manner.
Okay.
Yeah.
How you think?
How do I think?
Yeah. Because like your brain runs on like you. Okay, this is why I said you and Afton.
Silly string and caffeine.
Well,
is what it
that's it.
sounds
Well, you and Afton are very alike. Like you guys run your brain on like 2.5 times basically.
Yeah.
Like it's not. It never slows down. It's constantly moving.
Yeah.
The only difference between you and Afton is that her brain, her mouth actually speaks faster than her brain, but your brain thinks faster than what you speak.
Yeah.
So like,
Yeah,
Or
you
else
should,
I'd
like,
be in trouble
think.
a lot.
yeah. But like Afton doesn't care, and like, well, she also sometimes I can't understand her because I don't talk to her like voice like as often anymore, like over the phone and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I can't like keep up with like how fast she talks anymore. But like you're different. You speak very concisely and fluidly, but at the same time, none of it makes sense sometimes.
The reason this conversation jumped around 80,000 times.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So like, how do you, when you have to like focus on things, how do you just like do that?
I put on headphones to block out the world or else I can't function.
Well, but like,
or like I'll wake up at 4:30 in the morning when there's not a single distraction around me because I can't function.
golly, I could not do that.
Or I lock myself in my room and I delete all my social medias and turn my phone off and sit and do things. But a lot of that's like if I really need to focus. Most of the time, if I try to multitask, it's better for me to do that than to do one thing at a time.
Well, so like when you multitask, do you finish everything, like, or do you just like partly finish things?
I try to finish everything, but it's like I'll think of one thing, start it, think of one more thing, and then I'll be doing 4 things at one time, and then I'll have to remember to go back and do everything that I started to do in the beginning.
And do you?
I make a
normally do
lot
that?
of lists.
I can tell.
Like my
yeah.
brain, I make lists or else I don't remember shit.
Yeah, because like if I multitask, I would never get anything done. That's why I do things like one at a time because my brain don't think that fast.
If I have at least 2 stimulus, I can get things done.
What do you consider 2 stimulus?
Like I need to be doing a task while hearing a task. Or I need to be touching something while I'm thinking about something. Like I need 2 stimulus at the same time in order to function.
Well, I know like whenever you
I'm
came.
currently picking my back in order to have a conversation.
That's wild. Were you doing that the whole time?
Yes. That or like counting how many times I could move my big toe.
That's no way. No way. You. How many times did you move your big toe?
256 times.
No way. You actually counted that. What the hell? That's what I mean, y'all. Like she is wild. Like she is off the wall. You need those things that people go in for psychiatric wards for.
I think if I wrote down everything that comes to my brain in a day,
Straight check.
I would probably scare everyone.
I'm so curious because like people say like I want to be in the mind of someone for a day.
I'm good. I love you, but I'm good. I don't know if
I never said I
go
want to
in
be in
there.
the mind. I just want to see what her mind like looks like.
I'm good.
Maybe one day I'll just like write out all my thoughts and like everything that I do in one day.
You know the show Uncle Grandpa?
That's an accurate
That's
description.
what your head looked like.
That's accurate.
Good
description.
morning. Or he would have like the SpongeBob thing where like his arms would pop off and it'd go like, oh, 1 second, what? And they'd like come out of his mouth and just like detach back onto his butt. You know what I'm talking about?
What episode is that?
I don't. Uncle Grandpa's a fever.
Oh, I think you said SpongeBob.
No, yeah, SpongeBob had something like that too.
Where he like re-puts his body back together.
It didn't come out of his mouth.
There was one
though.
episode where he like ate his arms or something.
Yeah, he didn't.
He does that a lot.
Yeah, SpongeBob. There was an episode where he like was eating popcorns of his hands. And, like,
Yeah.
arms. Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Cannibalism is wild.
Is it cannibalism? Because he's not meat.
A sponge.
Yeah, he's a sponge.
What do you consider that?
It's just unsanitary.
Sponges are really gross.
Huh?
Sponges are gross.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So.
Well, like, cause I remember when you were in my room one night, you were like studying. I don't know what you were studying for something. I can't remember, and I was studying too. And you had a Netflix TV show on while looking at a sheet while looking at your computer.
Because honestly, if I don't have a lot of things going on, I don't know how people function without a lot of things going on. Like I literally can't pay attention.
Well, like that's where you talk
But
about
I've
like.
learned to like live with it.
Well, that's what you talk about, like stimulus, because I get overstimulated pretty easily.
I get understimulated.
So you thrive at like parties and stuff like that then, because it's so like overstimulating. See,
You
that's
want to come work at my job? You'll have tons of fun. I get overstimulated all the time. So
that's not overstimulating. That's just overbearing. There's a difference.
The phone call that you just
Overbearing?
had, I'm actually so good. I'm actually so good.
Honestly, I don't blame you.
Well, I think there's a difference because that's overbearing versus overstimulating. Because I don't think it's that stimulating because I worked that job too.
No, I mean, if you're in my department, you're constantly like walking around and doing something.
That's why
you
I said
always have your hands on
overbearing.
something. Somebody's always talking to you.
Oh, that's true.
So, you want to come in and shadow one of these days? I can teach you.
I mean, like, that's not a bad thing, though, because then if you are overstimulated, then you thrive in those situations. Versus, like, when you're understimulated, you just don't know what to do with yourself.
Me trying to figure out what to do with my life now that I'm not a cheerleader.
Tell me about it.
Understimulated.
Tell me
guess
about
so.
it. That's wild. What are you going to do?
I don't know.
Don't ever think about that right now. She might explode. I don't know.
Well, yeah. So, like, it's just... Well, what do you do when you drive, then? Because, like, the only things that you do is drive and listen to music. I'm so scared. What do you... Please don't tell me you just, like, count the amount of times you press on the pedal.
No, I usually... What do I do when I drive?
I hated that like devious smile too when he asked you that question. You're like, you like tap your fingers on like the steering wheel and everything.
Yeah, but more so I just turn the volume all the way up.
She does crank that Soldier Boy, bro. Like, she cranks that bitch through the
She
roof.
cranks that Soldier Boy.
Sometimes in life, the Soldier Boy cranks you. You don't crank it.
And then she counts it.
True.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I usually dance and sing to the top of my lungs, have it blasting loud. I don't know. I feel like I don't fidget as much when I drive.
So you got to throw that in once every episode.
I feel like Cole's getting the shit into the stick here, though.
Oh, absolutely.
I asked him if he needs help. He was like, nah, I'm good. I'm like, all right.
Yeah. But it's not really like it's more like I have a certain, in this respect, I'm a control freak. Because like this was my idea in the first place, so I have a very specific like way I want to do it. But
Valid.
so I guess self-inflicted in a certain way, but
I don't know how else he wants me to do. Like, I'm just...
sit still, look pretty. Shout out Dea.
You sit there and look
You got it?
priceless.
I just laughed at the sit still look pretty.
You just sit there and look priceless.
It doesn't have the same effect.
I know.
See what I'm talking about? I see it in you, but it just doesn't.
It didn't land.
Just doesn't
It's
come
okay.
out.
That's why you're the test dummy.
Huh?
That's why you're the test dummy. Because if it was an actual woman, I'd be walking out the door right now.
So I have a couple comments about what you
So
just
what
said.
about your other...
Huh?
You have women interactions.
But, like, I told you, like, when I interact with women, especially on the cheer team...
Why does this always come back into like the conversation?
Because
Thomas
Thomas
just got no game whatsoever. Like
Like, should
why?
be titled Thomas No Riz. Like,
Yeah. Next week is just Riz.
You know what you need to
Wizard
do?
University. What?
You need to watch like a TikTok on the Riz. How to get Riz.
There's a TikTok on how to get
There's
Riz.
a TikTok for everything. You know those guys who have like classes of like how to be an alpha male?
What? There's a class for that?
Yeah, that's the shit that I make fun of.
I think.
So why do you want me to watch it?
I think you just need to have your own Riz, or develop your own Riz. Get in the lab and just like the little test tubes. You're like, is this gonna work?
Yeah.
Don't be fake, Thomas.
What do you think?
We don't
What do
wanna
you
see
think
that.
you are?
Hmm?
You're the test dummy.
Yeah, but okay. Your test dummy says it's time for you to go out in the real world. He's tired of being in the lab.
I've used my expression too much, so I'm not going to say it again. But I didn't say that.
You said that.
So she did. She's
He
about to
was
fall
thinking it.
out too. Yeah. That also the entire time before we finished, that has looked like, you know, like the little chocolate milks, like the Yoo-Hoos.
Mhm.
That's what I thought that has been like the entire time.
Yellow edition Red Bull. It's an addiction.
What's the difference?
It's flavored.
It's yellow?
tropical. No, it's tropical.
Ah, so it'll kill your stomach, but it'll feel magical. What does that?
It didn't even work because it did not give me more
Yeah,
energy.
you look pretty sleepy. So
My
Well, that's because
eyeballs
you've also
are
had way
low.
less caffeine than you normally do in a day.
Yeah, this was. I only.
and you
had
still
this,
don't have to go to the bathroom, do you?
I only had this in a refresher.
Well, there is Celsius sitting up in there.
Well, it's a good thing I don't open tomorrow. Oh wait, yes I do. So
Well, and that'll be the end, guys.
that sucks. Yeah.
It's a good thing that I sleep in tomorrow.
Well, so Allie, your post game interview.
Yes.
Would you return
For
Would
part
I
2.
return?
And actually talk about you more.
on a more like stricter schedule? Would you return?
more controlled, not
Yes.
controlled chaos.
Less chaos.
Yes.
Yes.
Cool.
Hooray! Because maybe you'll phone the Craig idiom of like, oh, we need somebody this week. Allie, what are you doing tonight? And then we'll just talk to you about some stuff. So.
I don't want to throw into the
Okay, cool.
Greg idiom.
The Greg idiom.
The Greg.
His
Does
name
he
is
know
Greg.
about that? That you say that?
Yeah, I told him Wednesday.
Oh, okay.
I told him I'm not calling him Greg anymore.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I forgot.
That is Greg.
Until he grows his hair out again?
I like it.
I don't call him Greg again. Kind of like Greg. It's like a new nickname. Like Princess.
Nope, don't like that nickname.
Yikes. All right. Well, we'll wrap it up here. Because I think we're all just exhausted. I'm starving, so that's my problem right now. But
Need to go pee.
I want cookout. The faces in the room right now.
I really wanted to let the silence just like soak in. Everybody on the podcast is like, well, we know where they went after that episode.
Have you? It's like the. It's like the Marvel movie, the Avengers,
Well,
where they're
I
like,
already owe you food, so.
yeah, like the Marvel movie when they said, was it Chimmy? Oh, what is it?
Or shawarma.
Yeah, we get the shawarmas. Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm for real gonna end it because Allie does look like she's gonna just collapse.
She's such a fucking
Oh.
Cole said he had to edit it all out. So I
Okay,
fixed it.
well, the first one, you know you can't say that on like the internet.
What did I
so
say? Oh.
yeah.
See?
So yeah, our next music and movie Monday is happening
We
on
have to record
Monday.
that tomorrow.
Oh. Yeah.
Oh.
Well, we also have to listen to like whatever album the randomizer picks for us. So that one's easier than
That's true.
than watching a movie. So.
That's true.
Also, unironically, I've just kind of been like listening to that album as is.
It's so good.
It is pretty good.
I have not.
Yeah, so that'll be out on Monday, and then Allie's episode will be out on Wednesday.
Yeah.
And then we don't know what's in store for next
We
week.
reverse
so.
it. Can we do that Monday?
Allie's episode?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Which music Wednesday?
That makes no fucking
No,
sense.
that kind of isn't counterintuitive. We can't be off on a bad track already
On the
in the second
second
It's
week.
hard, bro. It's real hard.
Not for you.
All right.
All you have to do is show up.
Sit still, look
Sometimes
pretty.
that is hard.
All right.
Well,
Thanks for the 3 people listening. I appreciate y'all. But yeah, we'll see you guys next week.
Bye, y'all.
Peace.
boo.